Thank you, God in heaven, for giving us Dovbyk, Matias, Soule, Enzo Lefi, and it's not done yet. It's a monumental day in AS Roma history. They're signing for what has not happened in a fortnight, the leading goal scorer in La Liga in Artem Dovbyk. He's a 27-year-old player. He's like 6'4", very powerful in the air. His left foot extremely strong. I love this signing. Of course I love this signing. You love this signing. This is great. I didn't think we'd be here. I didn't think this summer was going to go like this. There were these rumors that financial fair play had relaxed and suddenly Roma would be allowed to spend. We don't know what that would entail. Would it be like every other summer where Roma had to sell 3-4 players in order to bring in 2? We didn't know, but now we're seeing really some big-time results. So Dovbyk, who is this guy? Yeah, like I said, 27, Ukrainian, 1.89 centimeters or meters, and he's in the prime of his life. He's going to give at least 3-4 years, probably more like 5, on a big contract with the Giallorossi. I think this is a major move. To his right, I'm thinking, how is Soule going to play with Dybala, with Dovbyk? It's got to be a 4-2-3-1. If we think about this team in attack, how are you going to get all these guys to gel? We know that Dybala and Soule might even step on each other's toes, but I like to make this comparison today. And in Football Italia, on the website today, I had an article posted how this could be very reminiscent of what we remember with Cassano and Francesco Totti. Of course, I'm just pulling up a few things here on Twitter. We're going to take a look at in a moment. It's a little GIF. I'm going to stop it. But we now have the 5th most expensive signing today in Roma history. Who comes before him? Schick, Abraham, Batistuta, and Antonio Cassano. Speaking of, down at number 12, it's Soule. That operation, though, is going to be a bit higher. It's probably going to be more like 30 million, which would be 5 and 6 most expensive transfers of Roma history. Enzo Lefi, quite costly as well, at 23 million. We don't really know what to expect of him yet, but in the preseason, he's shown really promising signs. The thing that I love most about Enzo is that he's able to get the ball off of his foot very quickly. He sees the pitch. He knows his options around him. This is not a guy who's going to go and break up play and be a defensive midfielder. He might be deployed in more defensive positions, but really he's someone who's going to pick out passes, stretch the field out, and get these wingers running, whether it's Soule, Dybala, who will be hopefully closer to goal. But back on that idea of the 4-2-3-1, in the hole, Dybala. Out on the right, Soule. Up ahead of them, Dovbyk. Out on the left, I don't know yet. I don't know if it's going to be Lorenzo Pellegrini, who's going to play as more of an inverted hybrid winger, or even today there were more rumors of different types of wingers. Who is it? Wesley from Corinthians, I think, was rumored yesterday. And there's a lot of other names. Wenderson Galeno from Porto at left wing. So that's still being floated around. I don't think that Roma are done just yet. There's also another name which came up today. We go back to Twitter here, X out of this. And that is Arthur Theate, who actually played for Bologna. And he was about to move to Milan. And then he went over to Rennes, who've been spending quite a lot of money, surprisingly. But left center back, will he be getting in the way of Ndika? How does De Rossi plan to use, if Theate does indeed come, the Belgian 23-year-old? What's the idea here? Because I was thinking that the real need at center back was somebody more like for cover for Gianluca Mancini. Now, as we talk more, maybe about Raul Bellanova, my concern becomes the space in between Bellanova, who's really more of a right wing back, not a true right back, and Mancini. Because I think if Roma really do tend to press more up the field and Bellanova does what he does and really enjoys, which is getting up in the offensive third, there's going to be a gap between Bellanova and Mancini. And I think that might be a weak area of Roma, as they will be super susceptible to the counterattack. So let's see how De Rossi arranges that if these players do come. So question number 1, how does Theate feature with Ndika? 2, how does a player like Bellanova gel with Mancini? So some question marks. And I guess you could say number 3 is ultimately, what is De Rossi going to do with Soule and Dybala together? To me, it's got to be the 4-2-3-1. I don't see another way. But then what happens to Pellegrini, the captain of this team? So a lot of questions left to be answered in this Mercato. But as we look back at, I want to ask you now a question. Yes, I did make this little comparison, the number 18, and I'll post the link to that in at the end of this video in the comments. But I really want to know, Do you think that there's more than, we got Soule, Lefy, Dovbyk, out of this top 20? Who do you think really deserves to be here? Is it more or less than 5 players? Montella was very expensive, but won Serie A, won the Scudetto with Roma. Salah was only 20 million. Walter Samuel, another Serie A winner. Hidetoshi Nakata at number 17. Like, to me, there's a lot of players here who earned it in the previous 20, 25 years, but in the past 10, it's hard for me to say that more than 4 or 5 of these guys that we see here, not Pastore, not Diawara, Mancini, yes, not Nzonzi. Cristante was expensive. That I'm on the fence with. Kambula, no. Spinazzola, maybe. So, like, my only guarantee who I could say he was really worth it is Mancini of the last 10 years. I guess maybe Abraham, too. It's unfortunate that he tore his ACL. But let's keep talking about other stuff. Over in Rome, they do have the new release of their kit. That's not it. Just trying to pull it up real quick. ASRoma.com, which is supposed to be reminiscent of the street art in the Testaccio neighborhood. Looks like the Dovbyk interview is also up on the site now. But I asked also on Twitter, guys, like, was this executed properly? And I'm going to show you the results here if I can run over to it. But overwhelmingly, the answer was no, that Roma did not nail this, that the idea was very good, but the execution, not it. I've heard fans compare this to dropping spaghetti sauce on top of themselves, or Orangina, or a spritz. Like, it was like a spritz that fell over. So not exactly well perceived. And here's the results. 76 almost percent said no, this is not the way to go, and that this kit was indeed not so great. What are your thoughts? Leave that comment as well, what you're thinking. But for me, I'm not going to buy it. I do like some of the training apparel, the white with the maroon, the red. I saw the parka online yesterday, which I really liked. And if we go over to the shop, looks like there's no, look at some other stuff and like go over to the training. I think this stuff's pretty fly. Here you go. Like, that hoodie's cool, but I really like the sleeveless here. 45 euros, 50 American is a lot, plus shipping for something like that. But I actually like the training jersey more than the actual away kit. This zip up's pretty cool. It's a half zip. Training shorts are nice. At the bottom here, I was wondering about this one. That might be like, you know, you put on some training pants and a little jacket, you go for a run when it's like really cold out. Today, it's the opposite of cold. It's like burning hot here right outside of Manhattan. I live in a suburb outside of New York, and it is scorching. I'm sweating just in here. My son is to my left, and I feel bad for him. Right, baby? Because he's like, Dad, get me out of here. But no, I got the air conditioning on. Don't worry. Don't call child services, please. He's fine. But anyways, we go more down. Yeah, I just think this would be like a cool look. I love the maroon on orange. I really love that aesthetic. To me, the orange was my favorite colorway. I didn't like when Roma, 1, changed their logo, but 2, in the logo also went to a more yellow gold under the Pallotta era. To me, I love the 2004, 2005 colorway, even back to like 2001. That's my jam. So I'm happy with what we've got going on here. It's tough, though, because like as an American, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to pay shipping. I don't exactly know how it fits. So like I can run with a medium. I'm 5'7", and like hopefully that's not too big. It's a risk. Talking like, you know, $250 probably that's going to cost me. So that's not chump change. But anyway, maybe you like the home kit too. I think this is cool. I think this would look fly with a Soule on the back. Pinstripes. For me, growing up, like I said, close to New York, pinstripes are for the New York Yankees. But let's see what that third kit looks like. I've seen some rumors of the blue. It's out there with the alternative branding. So that might be something cool too. But I sure as heck will not be buying this away kit. If you've bought it, though, or you're getting somebody on the name also, just let me know about that. So this number 18, I'll tell you a little bit about what I was writing for Football Italia. Through the years, this has been cursed. Antonio Cassano leaves. Roma should have won a Scudetto under him. Another one. It should have been 2 in a row or even 3 in a row past that. He goes to Real Madrid and then Sampdoria. He actually prevents Roma from winning a Scudetto. So not only does he shoot Roma in the foot, maybe it's not the right word to use. Not only does he cost Roma, by being immature and not wanting to play out his contract. He requested transfer in a year where they should have kept on just winning and winning. Then years later prevents Roma from winning a Scudetto. So this is like, we're talking like plus minus 3 or 4 Scudetti at this point because of Cassano. After him, Valerio Verga, highly rated youth